right, Hunter? Sarah Haskins she took a little time off over the summer just to recover from an injury. I'm going to let her talk about that. And Andy Potts, who has moved into the 70.3 and Ironman world, dominating 70.3s, Ironman 4th at Kona. So guys, Hunter, just let me ask you, and everybody think of your questions, because your questions are more important than mine. I just want to kick it off. Hunter, you took a little time off from this series. You said you wanted to focus on your training a little more. Talk about that a little bit, about how important your training is to the outcome of your season, in fact.
Yeah, you know, for me, I'm getting a little long in the tooth. Got some gray hairs now. I'm 38 years old, so it's actually hard for me to do, like, you know, start my season in April, go all the way through October, the end of October now, where we are, October 25th weekend here. So it's difficult for me to kind of get through the whole year. I was having some kind of like just some down weekends, and I have 4 kids, so it's just kind of like, what am I doing? I had some rough training sessions, so I took some time off in the middle of the season, which is not probably always best to do. But I did it anyways and kind of came back stronger on the back half of the year. Was able to win High B and did a couple international races past couple weekends. So I'm excited about the race this weekend. I'm excited about tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are as well. I raced here last year. The weather is going to be better. If you guys raced last year, I'm just telling you, it's going to be better. Because I don't know if it can be a whole lot worse. I feel like we were biking in this cloud the whole time. It was freezing. And I'm a Florida kid and don't do well. Do better with what's going on right now as opposed to what happened last year. So that was my excuse, at least, because I had a bad finish. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. On behalf of Toyota. I don't know if do we have our car here that has the shower in it?
Your car is right here.
Yeah. So this car right here, I don't know if you guys know, but we have a blender in there. We've got a shower in there. We designed this, myself, Sarah, and Andy. It's an amazing vehicle. You have to check it out. It's one of a kind, and literally one of a kind. So, thanks, Dave.
Yep, and Sarah, as Hunter said, you took a year off maternity leave. Caroline, I believe, is in the neighborhood. Is that right? I haven't seen her yet this trip, but she's just adorable. And Mom took a year off, came back, won the first 6 races of the year, and then the last time I saw you was in transition at Lifetime Tri Minneapolis. Tell us about what happened from there.
Well, I was desperately wanting to do the race, but after jogging 100 meters, I mentioned to Nate, my husband coach, he's around here somewhere, but I said I can't. Like, I knew that it was just not good for me to continue on. And I didn't know at the time what exactly was my injury. I needed to get to the bottom of that first, and that was top priority. And so I found out my injury, and since then I've just been focusing on getting healthy, and I'm really back to some run training now and excited to get to the line tomorrow.
I got a question for Sarah. When's the last time you've gotten beat? Like, how long has it been? Like, what calendar year have you actually crossed the finish line not in first place?
Yeah. I want to know. What year? Go ahead.
High B.
She had to think really hard on this one, too, because it's been a while.
And that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, High B
2012. This girl hasn't gotten beat in a race since 2012, people. Come on, can we give it up for her, please? Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I just got beat last weekend. It's hard to win races, and this girl does it quite often, okay? So let's give it up. Thank you.
And while you're thinking of your question, I'm going to ask Andy one to kick it up, because now, Andy, a year ago, you were in Kona, had one of the toughest decisions of your life, came back just a month ago at Kona, and 4th place. So talk about that from one year to the other in Kona, the big changes for you.
Yeah, last year I showed up and, I was kind of camped out on the Big Island for a month before the race, living in denial that I was not hurt, but I was injured. Sometimes in life when you don't know why, you're searching for the why of things, it can cause more frustration because you don't have an answer. You're searching and you're kind of grasping at straws when it comes to explanations of either what's failing you or what's ailing you, whether it's in work or with your body or with your family or friends. So I definitely had like a crisis, internal crisis, and it made me awful to be around because I didn't have a handle on something that I attribute a little bit of my identity to, and that's the sport of triathlon. Like a little bit of my identity is within the sport. So when you attach yourself to outside things and you're unable to participate, sometimes it's like, well, what, where do I stand? What's the pecking order? But it shouldn't affect how you are as a husband, how you are as a friend, how you are as a father, or any of those things. And that was the biggest lesson I learned last year. This year, I was just super appreciative to be able to get to the line and have no ailments, no issues, able to put in preparation and put on a good race. So there was definitely doubts along the way, which everybody has, but if you can separate yourself from your actual performance, because who you are as a person doesn't have to do anything with the number next to your name. If you can separate the two, you end up getting more out of whatever it is you're choosing to put yourself into. I've gotten more out of the sport of triathlon since I've said, my result is not me. I dictate who I am, not the finish of the number next to my name.
And Sarah, you've taken some time off to heal. This is 6 races, 6 for 6, and then 3 months off. How are you preparing for tomorrow?
Well, as far as preparations go for day before the race, it's just like any other race. I did have to take 3 months off running, which is quite a bit of time. I just got back to it last month. So mentally, I'm going into this race just like any other mindset, any race. You want to go there, and I want to, when that gun goes off, I want to give whatever my body has for that day. I'll give 100%, and that's all that I can do. And I may have some different goals that I had earlier in the season for this race in particular, but I'm just looking forward to going out there. Like Andy said, I mean, he made a really, really good point that sometimes when you're like earlier in the year, you're so wrapped up. This is our passion, this is our career, this is our livelihood. But at some point in time, we have to step back and we have to realize that, hey, like he said, it doesn't define who we are. But I think how you race, and when you go out there, you race with passion, and that defines who you are. So I'm going to take what I have. I may not have 100% fitness in my swim, bike, and run that I had earlier in the season. I had to take a lot of time off. But I'm going to go out there and as who I am as a person, race with 100% what I have in that day. And whether that's 10th place, whether that's 15th place, whether that's 5th place, whatever place that is, I'm going to give it all to the line.
And now, again, I want to remind you, this is not just a conversation between me and those 3, but you have an opportunity right now to ask 3 of the best in the world anything you want, from, what should I eat tonight, all the way through how do I get through the finish line. So anybody got anything on their mind that's concerning them for tomorrow at all? And if not, I'm just going to... Oh, Hunter, you got something to...
Yeah, I've got something concerning.
Okay, well, spill it out here.
One, Sarah's not going to get 10th place, okay? We can just go ahead and say that right now. If it does, something's happened on the bike or whatever along the course. I just want to give a little heads up to you guys know, I've had the privilege this past summer to be coaching Mike and Jen. Would you guys raise your hand over here? They're right back here, Mike and Jen from Kansas City. They are doing, and you guys can follow them, their whole journey on, is it hashtag Mike and Jen Journey on Twitter. So what's cool about it is they're doing their very first triathlon, and they got selected by Toyota and Lifetime Fitness to do this triathlon and kind of be a part of this whole training with us, training with the coaches, because they lost a lot of weight through the club. They were part of this challenge in Lifetime Fitness. It was really cool. And maybe, Dave, we could ask them kind of their story, how much weight they lost and what they've learned and what they're looking forward to in their very first triathlon tomorrow. The very first one. They're doing a sprint, and I'm really excited to see them cross the finish line.
Absolutely. And they told me this earlier, and I'm glad you come. Combined weight, how much did you 2 lose?
170 pounds.
Since when? When did you start on this journey?
February.
And now, in order to do a triathlon, Jen, and it's an open water swim, tell everybody else what you needed to do in order to do this triathlon.
I had to learn how to swim.
So now let me ask you, 3 people, do you have any questions for them about how to stay calm in the swim?
I think I have it covered.
Could you say that one more time with just a little bit more confidence?
I've got it covered.
Okay. And Mike, anything about the race tomorrow that concerns you at all?
No, I mean, we've been prepared by 3 of the best, so I think we're going to do a good job.
And how were they as coaches? Were they just taskmasters, or did they just give you attainable goals and stretch a little bit each time?
Careful with what
That's
you
right.
say.
That's why I'm getting the truth right
Careful
now.
with what you say.
Yeah, they were tough. Tough.
But fair. Tough but fair.
Tough
I
but
want to know
fair.
how much weight they lost. Can you ask them?
Combined 170. Jen, so you want individual? You want?
No, that's good.
Okay,
170 pounds. That's
a person.
Me. That's
a person.
That's me. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome is what it is.
All right, so you guys are good. You don't have any other questions for your coaches? No? And he's got. I knew he would.
So, Hunter says Sarah's going to win. Is Hunter going to win?
Yes.
That is a very good question. I try to win like all these guys every day. I just do my best. I don't really care what place I finish, to be honest with you. No, I'm serious. I'm going to try to win big time is what I'm going to do. Okay, whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. But I'm definitely trying to win this thing. And I just want to do better than last year. That's the goal. You know, I want to represent Toyota well. I want to represent, these guys well, my family, just everything. So I'm just going to go out there, do my best, give it my all. And then when I cross the finish line, knowing that I did that, that's going to make me feel good. So that's it. Yep. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Mike.
All right, any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to keep it going here. But if anybody has any specifics, this is your one opportunity. All right, but Hunter, I'm going to follow up on that a little bit. Well, hang on. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, this is going to be a loaded question. I know this guy. All right, what do you got?
But with all that love and camaraderie, I just had a question for Hunter, that if you looked over in the course of the race tomorrow and your friend Andy next to you had bike problems, would you stop and help?
If my friend Andy next to me had bike problems, would I stop and help? Yeah, are you racing tomorrow? Oh, well, then I am okay. I am okay. I refuse to answer the question. No, I probably wouldn't stop and help him. I just wouldn't do it. I don't think he would do the same for me. I think we both would look at each other and be like, "Hey, man, that's tough luck. That's a tough one. I'll see you back out there. But yeah, I wouldn't stop. If it was a longer race, maybe I might throw him something. If you got I don't know how it works in Ironmans, but if you're carrying stuff, maybe you toss a kit to him. Although you have like neutral wheel drops now, right? Motorcycle. Can you explain that?
So they're actually rules on outside assistance. So you can do it as long as you're not seen doing it. But if they catch you helping a competitor, you get disqualified. And I think they do too. I'm not sure. But you can kind of talk, like if you have like an extra CO2 and you want to throw it out, you just have to do it like either discreetly or like maybe 10 meters away, like not right at them. Just be like, yo, it's going to be up the road. and you kind of put it off to the side. But unfortunately, it's not in the spirit of the sport. The spirit of the sport is, to do your best and to compete against the best when they are their best. So I think there's actually a committee right now with USA Triathlon that's trying to unify the rules so there's less confusion with the different distances between sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, and Ironman. They're trying to unify it and make it so there's no confusion with helmet choice, drafting rules. They're trying to make it all the same. So hopefully that'll be addressed as well.
Now, Hunter,